So I think I talked for a little while and I didn't realize I wasn't even live. Uh, what I want to talk about, like I said, why I go live like this. So I want other people to come on so we can talk about all kinds of things, whatever. I posted a picture on Facebook. It was a picture of my buddy's deer. My buddy Stan killed a nice one. And has he killed bigger? Hell yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool, but it wasn't it wasn't the trophy. Again, I've talked about this before. It wasn't the trophy that he got. It was we were hunting together. It was my buddy Stan. These guys, I'm in here in Texas, and they were in New Jersey. My buddy Stan, his buddy Tom. I hunted with him maybe once. I don't even remember, to be honest with you, but whatever, it didn't matter because we had such a good time. And that's what I like to talk about. I'd love to hear your stories. And I've talked about this before, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but and that's kind of why I do my DAKY watches. Another thing I do is bodies. And I posted a picture of myself, and it's not, trust me, I'm not conceited and all that other bullshit. I'm just proud of myself. And I do it because, especially that bow you see behind me, that's an 80-pound Hoyt VTEC, which is a mother to pull. It doesn't have parallel limbs. I mean, it's got the old style limbs, and you're pulling 80 pounds right from the get go until she decides to cam over. That'll make a man out of you, that bow. I hear that Ranch Fairy guy talking about, man arrows or whatever. Let me tell you something. I like that candy ass to grab that thing. And, yeah, I'd like to hear what he had to say about it. I'm not saying what I'm going to jump on his style, and what I believe in and what I don't believe. What I believe with that FOC front of, and there's a lot of people going to it and everything else, and I believe in it. I mean, it must work. He's proved a lot of things right. Do I believe it matters? Not even a little. Nope. I mean, does it work for him? Hell yeah, it'll work. But does it matter? Hell no. Because people have been shooting this thing right here. It's a mossy oak arrow. I bought it from Walmart. I bought all my arrows from Walmart. I really can't say how many I've killed because I don't want to self-incriminate myself. I mean, I'm not a type of guy that just goes out there and sees how many deer I can kill. I'm the type of guy that just loves to bow hunt. And where I go bow hunting in different states that I hunt, and that's what I do. I mean, I just go for it. And I just love it. Numbers, size really means nothing to me. It's how it happens. And I've talked about that before. It's not, the size of the deer I kill, it's how I kill it. And I'm more proud of myself of my kill ratio. My kill ratio as far as how many arrows I let go, how many deer I hit, and how many deer that I've hit that I've either seen die or heard crash within ear, where I can hear them. And maybe because I shoot, and this is going back to that Ranch Fairy guy, maybe because I shoot light arrows, I don't get a lot of pass throughs. But I also shoot deer angle. I shoot angles. But do I think about where they're going to go in? Yes. But do I also think about where they're going to come out? Yes. And that's what I think really helps me. I don't shoot a big broadhead because I am kind of a shoulder shooter. I jam that thing up front more than I aim further back. So if I'm going to aim at the shoulder or have a chance of hitting it, I want a smaller broadhead to do more damage. And it seems to work. Sometimes I think about maybe my kill ratio is so good because I don't go all the way through that broadhead. I mean, if you stick a stick an arrow in a deer 4 or 5 inches, you're halfway through. You're 3/4 of the way through that. That deer isn't that wide. I don't know what a deer. Maybe somebody can help me out. I don't know how wide a deer is, but I know he isn't all that wide. I mean, I could take and I've done it, and I've seen it on these videos where people have taken the arrow, had the blood on, held it up to their mount, their shoulder mount, and 4 or 5 inches, he's 2/3 of the way through that deer. I mean, if you're went through the behind the shoulder, you are into both lungs at that point. I mean, yeah, if it's on an angle, you caught a lung, you win it. That's why sometimes I like when my broadhead is stuck inside that deer. Excuse me. For the fact is it's inside. That thing's inside moving around as he's running, bouncing off of limbs and everything else. If it's next to a lung, it just tore that other lung up. If it's went through the lung, it's next to the liver, it's tearing that liver to shreds. Whatever it's doing, it could be inside there, it could be folded forward as he ran, as smacked into something and sent that broad up inside that deer. Now it's up inside, went behind the shoulder, and now it's up forward now. I mean, it's catching all kinds of stuff, all kinds of veins and arteries and everything else, and just boom. And maybe that's why I have such a good kill ratio. Maybe because I am shooting lighter, that they're staying inside. Do I have probably a better blood trail than a guy that blew through? Probably not. But my blood trail's become pretty proficient, pretty obvious. But it takes a tiny bit, because a lot of times I only have one hole. But once it starts, I mean, I've killed some deer and had some hellacious blood trails, one hole. It started a little. Sometimes it takes a little bit for it to get up and pump out of that one hole. But once it does, I never regretted, knock wood, never had to regret really only one hole. I remember my buddies in Kentucky. It was pretty cool. They were looking for another friend of mine's deer, and they didn't find it. And when they called me on the radio or on the phone, and he said, "We'll come over and help you find yours," and I was like, "I got it." And when I hung up, my other friend told me, it was pretty neat. He said, "Alan, the only cool thing about you is really I don't remember having to look for too many of your deer." And I'm proud of that. It's pretty cool. And that's, maybe because but one thing I do is I'm real condescent, is that the word I'm looking for, of where I'm going to hit the deer, even at any angle. If it's walking away from me, I aim far back, that last rib. I'm looking to send it forward into that opposite shoulder if he's walking away. If he's coming at me, I aim. I'll tuck that thing right behind. When that front leg comes forward, I'll tuck it right there behind that shoulder, and I'll send it back. I mean, I'm catching a lung, probably into the liver, right back into the guts. And I mean, and another thing, I've had some good luck with gut shots. I mean, it's, I've hit deer dead in the guts. I don't go nowhere, but I also don't look for it. I know it. I also, I don't aim there. I mean, if I was shooting some of these 2.5 inch broadheads, I mean, it would not bother me one bit to gut shoot a deer. I mean, if it happened, that's 2.5 inches tearing that stuff. He ain't gonna want to go too far. No, you can't look for him at the point. You're gonna have to wait a long time. But he is not, and he should not go a hell of a long distance unless he's pushed, because he just wants to get down. And I mean, I'm not proud of that either. It's not where I'm aiming, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying sometimes these giant broadheads, And what I hear people with this FOC and all that stuff, to me, if it's what you like, then do it. If it makes you feel confident, do it. But I just don't like when they say you have to, because I don't. I buy them like that. Here it is. Here's a mossy oak. I don't even know what this thing. I mean, I'm probably pushing 400 and something grains, low fours. I got 100 grain broadhead, whatever these mossy oaks weigh. I don't even, it says it on here. I can't even see. Wait a second. Hang out. I'll tell you in a second, because I can see it. These are 350s. I think they're 8.1, and I shoot like a 26.5 inch arrow. So you do the math. It's that's plenty. I mean, it is a deer. It isn't a hog. I mean, if I was shooting a hog, if I was shooting an elk, something like that, I could see your point. But we're only shooting a white-tailed deer. It's a thin-skinned animal. I mean, I could punch through them pretty much with a target tip if I had to. But it's just, I don't know. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. Another thing I'm at with that is now that the season's over and I've been doing this, I got my thing called Body Beers and Bows, and I do drink. I'm into these IPAs. I talk about them a little bit, but really it's Bodies and Bows. I posted what I ate tonight at steak and broccoli, and I do a lot of plant-based. I mean, to keep myself in shape, because especially with that bow back there, I got a 70-pound Hoyt Charger. I'm looking for an 80-pound bow, but with finances, I gotta I might be shooting my Charger again. It's no big, if I can get one, if I can get an 80-pounder, I'm going to. Yeah, I'd like to get an 80-pound Hoyt Defiant, or like I like 80 pounds. I'm a pounded person. I do my bodies and bows, and I work out a lot. Thank God I got a great wife who works out with me. She looks fantastic, and we both work out together. So pounded to me. Now I'm the other end of it. A lot of people talk about FOC and weight. I'm a pounded nut. I like driving this son of a bitch home. 350s, 300 spine arrows, stuff like that, 340s. I like a stiff spine arrow. That's what I like to do. Take a stiff spine arrow with a lot of poundage behind it and drive it home. And it seems to work. It seems to work for me. And the thing with archery is find what works that makes you feel confident. Obviously, if you're hitting deer and they're getting away, obviously what you're doing isn't working. But if you're killing deer, there ain't nobody out there that should tell you what you're doing is wrong. And that's how I look at it. I'm killing deer. I kill, like I said, I talked about my kill ratio is killer. And so with that, wish somebody else would come on, make it easy for me to talk. But nobody. Okay, somebody sees this, like what I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and shoot me a text, either on DAKY Whitetails on YouTube, or you can go to Alan Bergen on Facebook. And I'd love to talk. I'd love to either go on your page, or I'll love to have you come on mine. Be an interesting conversation. With that, DAKY Whitetails, Bodies and Bows. Get yourself in shape, guys. Now that the season's over, great time to do it. Plus, you got the summer coming up. So let's just do it. DAKY Whitetails, keep chasing the dream.